everyone, my name is Kudzai and I want to welcome you back to On the Money, a financial education program brought to you by Old Mutual. We know that it is premised on the big 5 animals that are found in Africa. We've learned from the prior 4 animals around budgeting, planning, saving, and how we can charge down our debt. Today we want to focus on animal number 5, which is the buffalo. There are lots of things we can learn from the buffalo. If you observe how buffaloes live, you'll notice and recognize that buffaloes are often found in very large herds. There could be 450, upwards or northwards of that number. They move together in big groups. Hardly do you see a buffalo all by itself. It's also said about the buffaloes that they are extremely steady as animals. In fact, very few animals can be able to match the buffalo when it comes to a fight. They can even dare challenge the king of the jungle himself, the lion, almost an equal match between the two of them. And so from the buffalo, there are things we can learn around managing our money. The secret of the buffalo is investing. You see, it takes time to build up a herd. For a buffalo herd to grow from 2 all the way to 450 and northwards of 500 even, it takes time. And so the key learning point from the buffaloes is how you can steadily be able to grow your money. Many times when buffaloes are moving around in herds, they may have the young amongst them, and they may also have the old and weaker buffalo amongst them. But you'd never notice this because they tend to move around in a big circle of a herd, and right in the middle, the weaker ones and the younger ones are in there, and they are protected. In the very same way, we can learn some key lessons from the buffalo concerning investing. First of which is the fact that you can literally grow from a very small amount. Just 2 buffaloes can grow up all the way to an extremely large herd. You too can start with very small amounts, and as you consistently grow your money, you can build up wealth and come to a place where it is indeed large wealth. Buffaloes protect each other, and when you build up your wealth through investing, you also can stay protected. You see, when we speak about investing, it is very simple. We are talking about making the money you have grow. Most meaningful and solid investments are built up over time. Wealth that comes too quickly is often not sustainable. And so again, we must learn from the buffalo to be patient and allow investments to grow little by little over time. The focus of investing is not just growing money in the sense of moving from $5 to get it to perhaps $15. Because you see, you can invest money from 5 to 15. But at the time of spending the 15, if inflation is a big issue, you might not be able to purchase with the 15 what you could have purchased with the 5. And so it is important to make sure that in every investment, the money just doesn't grow numerically, but you are able to beat inflation. 3 key things come to mind when you're making investments. The first one is time, the second one is return, and the last one is risk. Let me unpack this a little. When you begin to invest, we did highlight that the secret of the buffalo is that it is patient. It builds up its herd over time. And so time is a very important factor when you are growing your money or investing. It is important that you sit down and begin to reflect on the amount of time that you have. When you are younger, supposing you are 25 years of age, we want to assume that you have a bit more time, all things being equal, than the person who is 65. And so the type of investments and the type of products that you use and the approach to investing would probably be different from that person who is nearing retirement or is already at the point of retirement. Time is a very important factor in selecting your investments. Returns are important as well. Every one of us is made up in a different way. Obviously, all of us who are investing are looking to make our money grow, but the kind of return that satisfies me may not be the same return that may satisfy my neighbor or my workmate or a churchmate or indeed anybody who is in the same society as I am. We all have different targets, and so when we begin to put in $1 towards investing, we are looking for different returns. Granted, all of us want to make sure that we have returns that are greater than inflation at that time. But above that, what we are seeking will differ according to the types of investment portfolios we are trying to make up. Last but not least, after time and return is the consideration of risk. People are afraid of different things. I always like to give a very simple example. That growing up, I know many people were afraid of dogs. In fact, just seeing a sign that said, "Beware of dogs," was enough to put terror in the inside of them before they even see the dog. But I've met people who are not afraid of dogs, but are afraid, like me, of frogs. And so you realize that each of us is wired differently when it comes to risk appetite. Some people are very risk averse, so they want to put their money in a place where they know for certain that if I put in $1, the return, I will know it upfront. Then there are people who are a bit more adventurous, and this is not a function of age, in fact. It is more to do with just how people are wired for risk. Some may say, look, I can put money anyway as long as it comes back multiplied by a certain factor. And it is important for every investor to understand their own risk profile. Don't choose investments that put fear in you, because you're unlikely to stay in them long enough to get the benefit you should. And so after all has been said and done, every one of us who is seeking to invest to grow their money will think about the amount of time they have, will think about the returns that they require, and will look at their specific risk profile. The good news is that in any economy, there are products that are made up that can fit every single one of us. It is up to you to then choose the products that match your investment goals. Having understood your makeup as an investor, you also want to go back to some of the things we spoke about in The Secret of the Leopard. Remember, we say that planning is key. And so even in investing, in your mind, you want to be sure whether you're investing for the short term, for the medium term, or for the long term. All of those are important considerations. Perhaps one last important thing to think about as we invest, as we pick products, is this thing which is called compound interest. You see, when you put your money in a certain place, the idea is that the money itself would grow. But the ideal type of investments are those where you can benefit from what is called compound interest, where if you send $1 to make money for you, the money that it will make is called interest. Ideally, you want to try and find those investments where the interest you make from your initial investment will also begin to make money. And so, very simply, it is like sending money to make money. And the money that you've sent to make money makes money, which makes even more money. As usual, we will share with you some pointers, practical pointers around how you can begin to invest. We already know that investing is about growing our money, and we know why it is important to invest. Those monies that we were speaking about in prior episodes around saving, we want to make sure we don't just keep the money as it is, but we make sure that it grows and it is able to help us in the day of trouble or help us achieve our many positive goals. So the first thing you want to do when you invest your money is to diversify. We may all have heard about not putting your eggs in one basket. And the theory behind that saying is that if all of your eggs, if you have a dozen eggs, which is 12 eggs in a basket, if you drop that basket, then it's more likely than not that all of your eggs will be broken. However, this is a different case where you've put all 12 eggs in different baskets. 6 eggs in one, 6 eggs in another. If perhaps you were to fall, you may be fortunate that one basket will stay intact with all 6 eggs, and perhaps you might lose a bit on the other basket. And so the same thing is extremely true when it comes to investments. In investing, there are 4 major avenues. One of them is property, another is the stock market, yet another is fixed income investments, very commonly called the money market. And then last but not least, there are alternative investments, some of which we alluded to when we spoke of The Secret of the Lion. It is up to you to sit down and begin to consider which ones suit you. And so in the light and spirit of diversifying your investments, you want to begin to think around what you have to begin with, because this will inform the avenue that you take in investing your money. You see, I may want to invest in property, but the requirement or the capital required there is obviously much, much higher than what may be required if I'm putting money in the stock market or perhaps an alternative investment like a savings club. However, it is important that all of us understand each of these avenues of investing so that we have a choice and we're able to diversify our basket. In as much as we want to grow our money, it is important that we be very wise investors. You see, there's always people who are looking to take your money from you. And there are those things we've heard about which are called pyramid schemes. Anything that looks too good to be true when it comes to investments, more often than not, is indeed too good to be true. So be aware of get-rich-quick schemes and avoid them as much as possible. It always makes sense to pick your investments with companies that have strong track records. When you do get into any kind of an investment, it is important for every investor to read the fine print. Oftentimes, when you pick a specific investment, you will find that there are terms and conditions that apply to it. It is important for every investor to acquaint themselves, read the fine print. As some have dared to say, the devil is in the detail. And so sometimes you may find yourself on the wrong side of an investment, not because the company you were dealing with did not make it bare, but they shared that information. And as an investor, you may not have taken time to read through it. And so when you're given an investment contract, whether it be for fixed income investments, money market investments, property investments, stock market investments, unit trusts, alternatives, you name it, always make sure you read everything right through the end. And don't just read. Be at liberty as well to ask the person you're dealing with questions so that you walk away having enough clarity about what you've invested in. Yet another important point when you're investing is the fact that past performance does not guarantee you future performance. For example, if you were to choose to invest in the stock exchange, you may realize that a specific company or a counter, as they call them, that a friend or a relative may have invested in and made money in the times past, may not necessarily perform the same today or in the time to come. And so as an investor, you need to do the responsible thing and realize that past performance is indicative of what could likely happen, but it is not a guarantee of the kind of returns you may get in the time to come. It's in the nature of most markets to go up and down, particularly so when you're speaking of the stock market. Daily, the prices of shares on the stock market, or equities, or stocks as some prefer to call them, will go up and down. You recall we spoke about risk? It's really your responsibility as an investor to think about whether you're able to live with specific investments that continue to move up and down. If you realize that you're not very comfortable with things that keep changing, then perhaps you want to select to invest rather in a market like the money market, where you know that once you put in $1, it is clear what your returns will be from the very day that you invest. It's the nature of markets to move, and so you find the place of comfort and invest in that place of comfort. But at the same time, when you've put in your money, you want to make sure that you do the responsible thing as an investor. Don't put money in any market or in any product and completely forget about it. You want to make sure that you are in constant communication with your fund manager or the specific institution you're dealing with to make sure that you are in track with what is happening with your investment. So active monitoring of investments is key. When they go up, perhaps you may have an opportunity to take some profits and reinvest some of that money in other places. And when you see that they're going down, that is the perfect time to pick up a phone and talk to the fund manager and hear what is the likely direction and the action that must be taken. And this leads me to yet another important point when it comes to investing. You see, when someone has a headache, they do not call up their dentist, because dentists do not focus on things that have to do with the head. They focus on your teeth. In the same way, if I have a sore tooth, I will not call a pediatrician, because that is a doctor for children. I will go to the dentist because they specialize in sorting out your teeth. Let me say, when it comes to investments, it is also equally important to work with the experts. So don't get your investment advice only from friends and family and reading from places where people say, oh, we heard this or we heard that. It is important that you feed yourself with information from the markets, feed yourself with information that comes from the companies you've invested with, and that way you can be able to make sound decisions as per advice given by a financial planner or a financial advisor who is an expert in these kind of things. All of us are at different stages of investing. Some of us are starting out completely. Some of you have been in the game a little bit longer. And some of you have done well for yourselves. And by now, you have a whole lot of assets. You've built up a portfolio and you've sorted yourself out in terms of investing. It is important for every one of us at every stage to also begin to think about how best you can protect the assets that you already have. Some of you have properties, some of you have equipment. All of these things are valuable. I would dare say that anybody who owns any bit of property would want to make sure that it is protected. And so, when it comes to investing, the secret of the buffalo does not speak only about growth, but it also speaks about protection of assets that are already there. And this is where the salvation of insurance comes. Insurance is simply that financial product that can help you to be covered, where you pay an insurance company a small premium over time, such that if anything were to happen to your assets, it could be theft, it could be damage by water or fire, or whatever other circumstance, they can be able to help you to have a very soft landing so that you get that asset replaced. And so it is important that as you begin to walk towards investing, you also think around insuring the assets that you have worked for. With insurance, you have options. There is a short-term type insurance where you can cover a vehicle, where you can cover smaller equipment. If anything should happen, then you know you have a fallback. And all the efforts you've put towards saving and investing are not in vain. You can also be able to cover yourself in the long term. And this works very well for much larger assets like a house, properties of that nature. And indeed, you can also cover your own life. Because after all's been said and done, every action we've spoken to, the investing, the saving, is done by you as an individual. And so you want to make sure that you cover your life. Cover yourself in case of a disability or an injury at work. Cover yourself in case of an unfortunate early death. You want to have the comfort that the people you care about will be covered and can still be able to benefit from the efforts you made in the time that you were alive. And so it is important to begin to consider not just the investing itself, but how you can marry the two with insurance. There are important learnings indeed from the buffalo. The secret of the buffalo is that we must invest, grow our money. Look for several options of how you can make your money grow. Diversify your investments. Put some money here, some other money there. Make sure you continue to track those investments. Talk to experts. And after all has been said and done, do not forget to cover all of those assets that you're working for with insurance. Many times people are afraid of insurance because they think it's a lot of money. Go out and get a quote. If you have anything you value in your life, it could be a vehicle, a property, and indeed your very life, do take this action point. Go out and get a quote from the experts. Thank you for watching On the Money, a financial education program brought to you by Old Mutual. My name is Kudzai. It's been fabulous. It's been fantastic. It's been brilliant. It's been awesome to have you walk with us in the past episodes. Do join us in the next one as we bring everything together. And we will show you how bringing all of these habits that we've learned from the 5 animals can help you totally transform your life and attain your financial freedom. Cheers.